Good morning, students. Today, let's watch part 2 video of chapter 9 Living Organisms, Characteristics and Habitat. The, the topic which we are going to see today is terrestrial habitat. What is terrestrial habitat? The plants and animals that live on land are called terrestrial habitat. Let's take a journey through different terrestrial habitats. The different types of terrestrial habitat are deserts, mountain region and grasslands. Let's start with deserts habitat. Deserts, a waterless area of land covered with sand and having little or no vegetation is called desert. Let's see the dominant factors in the desert habitat. Scarcity of water, high temperature. Plants and animals have to protect themselves from excessive loss of water and too much of heat. Next, we'll see adaptations in desert animals. In deserts, there are animals like desert rats and snakes which do not have long legs like camel to keep their body away from hard desert sand. So, to survive in the desert, these animals have some specific adaptations. The desert animals dig deep burrow in the sand and stay during daytime and comes out of the burrows only during cool night in search of food. The desert animals also pass out very small amount of urine and hence conserve water in their body. Next is adaptations in desert plants. In the hot desert habitat, water is not available to plants in sufficient quantity round the year due to very less rainfall. Some of the adaptations which help desert plants like cactus are: cactus is the most common plant found in deserts. Cactus plants have modified their leaves in the form of spines to reduce the loss of water through transpiration. Next, the photosynthesis in cactus plants is carried out by the green stem. The green leaf-like structure which we see is actually a stem. Store water in their stem and covered with thick waxy layer to prevent loss of water through evaporation. Plants also have long and deep root to absorb water from a larger area. Let's now talk about the next habitat, mountains. First, talk about the climatic condition of the mountains. As we go longer and higher, what happens? The temperature decreases continuously with increase in height. Let's see what kind of plants we find in mountain regions and also we'll see its adaptations. The trees in mountain habitats are usually cone shape having sloping branches. This helps the rainwater and snow to slide off easily without damaging the branches and leaves. Next adaptation is many mountain trees have small needle-like leaves. These leaves lose very little water in windy conditions. These needle-like leaves have a thick waxy layer to reduce the loss of water through transpiration and also to protect them from damage by rain and snow. Next, let's see adaptation of animals in mountain regions. First, we'll see the adaptation in yak. It is covered with long, silky hair to protect them from cold by keeping them warm. Next, if we'll see in mountain goat. Mountain goat has long hair to protect it from cold and keep it warm. It has strong hooves to walk on the rocky slope of mountains for grazing. Let's understand what is meant by hooves. Hooves means hard and rough feet, helps to get grip on rock to walk and climb up. Another important animal in mountain region is snow leopard. Snow leopard has thick fur on its body. This fur protects them from cold and keep it warm. It also has fur on its feet and toes. This especially protects its feet from cold when it walks on the snow. Next adaptation is the snow leopard has a thick layer of fat beneath its skin for insulation to protect it from cold. It has a rounded body and small ears to keep the body surface area to a minimum. This reduces the heat loss from the body. It has big feet to walk on snow and prevent it sinking into soft snow. Let's now discuss about the next habitat, grasslands. As the name suggests, areas dominated by grasses. Variety of plants also present. Grassland supports vegetation with enough food, water and rainfall. All these factors help the animals to survive and get protected in the grassland. Whenever we talk about protection, we might think that how do we know that animals get protected? We see that there are animals which eat up other animals, example lion and deer. So, how do we say that deer is protected in grassland? Everywhere we see certain set of organisms which would be predator, that would exploit or eat other animals. Those animals who will be eaten by the predator are called prey. So, animals who hunt is a predator like lion and a prey is a deer. Now we will see how a deer can protect from the predator. Now let's understand predator-prey relationship. Predator-prey relationship is nothing but it's a delicate balance between two populations, that is the lion and deer in grassland habitat. The lion is adapted to the grassland habitat. The lion is a carnivorous animal which eat the flesh of other animals. The lion is a strong, fast animal which can hunt and kill its prey like deer. It has long, strong, sharp claws in its front leg to catch its prey. The lion can withdraw the claws inside the toes so that they do not become worn out and blunt. The lion has eyes in front of its head, which enable it to have a correct idea of the location of its prey. This helps in catching the prey. Last adaptation is the lion is light brown in color. The light brown color helps the lion to hide in dry grassland. Next, continue with the deer adaptation. The deer is a herbivorous animal which eats the plant parts as food. The deer has eyes on the sides of its head which enable it to see in all directions. The deer has big ears for good hearing, helps to hear the movements of predators like lion easily. The deer is fast runner. The speed of deer helps it to run away from the predators. The deer has brown color to hide in dry grasslands. The deer has strong teeth for chewing food like hard plant parts. So, let's recap the topic by watching the video. Thank you, students.
Terrestrial plants.
Hey, see! It is a neem tree and this is a mango tree.
Yes, children, they are mesophytes. Since they require moderate amount of water to grow, these are plants growing in plains.
What about the plants growing in cold places?
Dear, they make up the coniferous forest. They have needle-shaped leaves. Can you guess why?
I know the answer. It is to drain out the snow.
Yes, you are right. They bear cones instead of flowers and are called conifers.
Cactus and acacia are also terrestrial plants.
Yes, child, they are desert plants. These plants grow in sandy land. Since the water is in fewer amounts, their roots are well developed to reach water level deep in the soil. Its leaves are modified into spines. Can you tell me why?
To prevent the loss of water by transpiration.
The stem stores water and performs photosynthesis. There are some plants like the cotton, rubber, and teak which remain evergreen. They grow in areas of heavy rainfall. Plants like mangroves have breathing roots which are above the soil.
Why is it so, Dad?
It is because the soil in that area is very sticky and clayey. Air does not reach the roots, hence they have breathing roots.
How do the plants near the sea survive?
Plants like coconut can live in salty areas and heavy rainfall. The seeds get carried away by water.